Hello guys, this is Rohan. Today we will be continuing with the splash activity. Now let's start with the Java program. Here you can see that there is only one Java program, that is the basic activity, which will be our main program. Now before this program starts, we need another Java program which will have its layout as splash.xml, because this basic activity is having its layout as main.xml. So just right click on this package, new class. It will create a new class. Now we have to give it some name, so we'll give it name as splash. You can make it starting with capital, so just finish. Make sure that it is in basics src folder, that's here, and the package name is the same. Then finish. Okay, here it is our class. Let me close all this. Now this XML was made in the last tutorial. Now we have to link this XML file to this splash.java. So basically what we have to do here is we have to play an music for the specified time for which this splash activity will remain. So we have taken a music file of 5 seconds. So this splash activity will be running for 5 seconds and then our main program will start. So now here you can see that there is nothing for on create bundle and all. So we'll just extend this. It will show an error, so we need to import the activity. Here it is. Now just right click, go to source, override implemented methods, and you can see on create bundle over here. So just take it and click OK. Here it is. Now we have to set the layout as this splash.xml. If you open this basic activity which we have made in the last tutorials, in the starting it is there, set content view as r.layout.main. Now in the splash.java, similarly we have to set the content view as r.layout.splash. So it is giving me an auto completion, so just put an semicolon. Now it will just put an splash.xml file when we open the Android application. Now which activity to start first, the basic activity or splash.java, will be decided by us, and that will be done in the Android manifest, which we'll deal with later. Now we want a thread which will run for about 5 seconds, because our music is of 5 seconds. So we'll run the thread for 6 seconds, otherwise the music will be played for more time than our layout. So our layout will be for 6 seconds. Now what is basically a thread? A thread is a sequence of instructions executed concurrently. A CPU can process only one instruction at a time, as we know, but operating systems can interleave them on a single CPU. Based on the thread priorities, the operating system allots time share to the threads. Now Android is also capable of running multiple threads simultaneously. However, we need to know how to use them. So I'll be using one of them right now. So let's just define a thread. Before that, we need to initiate our music for about 5 seconds. So for that, the syntax is media player. It's media player, write down over here, media player. We'll give it a name as MP, and then we have to write again the media player dot create. So you have 3 options over here: create, context, and an int, or create and URI. Now this URI is used when you're playing something on internet. So we have this file in our raw folder, so we'll click on the first option. Now it is asking for a context. The context will be same because this media player is in our parent activity splash. So I'll write this and res id is the id of the music. So our music is in raw, so we'll be writing r dot raw dot music. See, here it is. Now we have defined an media player of MP which has the file music. Now we need to initiate that music player, for which we have a function start. So we'll just start that MP dot s, that is start. So it will just start the media player which will play this music file. Now we define a thread. You can just define that media player MP above. So you don't need to define it down over here. Now we'll define a thread count which will be a new thread. So we'll start and end this thread. Now in this thread we'll have a method run which will run the counter. So I'll write public void, because it is not going to return anything, run, and then the method in which it will be same as what we have done as a counter. So it will be int count equal to 0. Then so being professional, we need to use try and catch, so that our application, when it is interrupted, it doesn't force close. So we'll add an try block and catch block. So it says try to do counting, if not then it will go to the catch block and finally finish. So in try will write while loop. You can use for. So in the while loop we will be writing count is less than or equal to 6000. We are writing 6000 and will be incrementing count by 100, so it makes it 6 seconds. Now in the while loop we'll write sleep, which is a function for which the phone will wait. It will be 100. Now this is the try block and while loop. After the while loop, after 6 seconds are over, we need to start a new intent. Now what is an intent? Now intent is basically the glue between the two activities. An intent is an abstract description of an operation to be performed. It can be used to start a new activity. Here we want to start the basic activity.java after this flash. So an intent provides a facility for performing the late runtime binding between the codes in different applications. So we'll be using an intent for gluing these two activities, flash and basic activity. So after counting for 6 seconds, we need to start a new activity of basic activity. So I will write over here intent. So start activity. Start activity. Now it will say intent. So we don't have an default intent, so we'll define a new intent. New intent, and in the brackets we have to give the action to be performed. So in double quotes I will write something as com dot basic dot hello world dot, you can write anything. I will write start it, something like that. You can write anything, just remember what you are writing. Now in while loop we need to increment the count, so we'll be incrementing the count equal to count plus 100. Now put a semicolon over here. Just remember this because we will be needing this in the Android manifest file. Now it will wait for the 6 seconds and start a new activity. This all you have to write in the try block over here. If that doesn't works, we will be writing a catch block. It will be an interrupted exception. Give it some name E. Will do nothing. Then we need to finish this activity by killing this thread. So there is a function called as finish in the activity. Which will kill this thread, and our start activity com.basic.helloworld.started will direct it to the basic activity, and then our main program will start. So this is not C++, so we need to start this thread by writing an instruction. Also this finish should be written in the finally block, because final is always executed. Otherwise it might get that this run will go into a loop, a never ending loop. So we'll write in finally. Now it is showing me an error over here, which is saying that you have started a thread and not ended it. So we'll end it by a semicolon. Now after this thread we need to start it. So our thread name was count. So see, here it is giving me an suggestion that the value of the local variable count is not used. So it is saying that this count is never used. So we need to start this thread by writing count.start. Start is a function which will start the thread. So here is our splash activity. Just save it. Now quickly let's go to the Android manifest file. Before that, we haven't used anything from the XML file, only we have given the layout, and as we are not going to change anything of that layout, so we are not defining any IDs and not using it in our splash.java. Now in the basic manifest, here is our activity. This all is explained to you in the last tutorial. Now the action is android.intent.action.main. Now main is for our basic activity.java. So this activity from here to here is defined for this basic activity.java. Now we have defined a new Java, that is splash.java. So we need to copy this and paste it again down over here. So this will be the second activity. So now the Android name for this activity will be dot splash. Let the label be the app name. Now what is action? Now action is something which will be gluing you to the splash and basic activity. This will glue both. So just open splash.java, and here we have written com.basic.helloworld.started. We'll just copy this and replace this by that. Now what this will do, this will glue this. So when the splash is opened after start activity, because of com.basics.helloworld.started, this new activity will start, which will be the basic activity. Now how will the phone know that which activity to start first? It will be decided by the category Android name. Here it is launcher and launcher. The launcher will say that you will have an launcher to start this activity. So if you keep it like this and install the app, you will see two icons in your phone. So you can start individual activities when you want, but we don't want that. We need to start only one activity when our application is launched, which is the splash one, and this will write it as default, so that this doesn't have any launcher. Now let's just save it. Also the action for this will be the main, because you have to start this first. So I'll just copy that main and paste it over here. Now from this, the Android will come to know that this is the main, and it will place an launcher for you in the menu of your Android phone. Now this we have to change, and I'm copying this com.basic.helloworld.started. Now when it will say that start activity of this intent, it will basically refer to the manifest file, and it will find where it is written. So in this activity, so it will start this activity. I'm just saving this file now. Let's just run this program. Whether everything is correct or not, we'll come to know. In the console, you can see it is uploading. I have started the emulator much before the tutorial started. Now it's uploading. Here it is. So it's playing the music. After 5 seconds, it will launch a new activity. Now this is the main activity which we have done in the last tutorials, which will work as normal. So thank you.